So you find yourself in a scenario like this, around the edge of the green in some deep, thick rough, and you're not quite sure how to navigate that kind of lie. The lie can also vary, whether it's deep in the rough or sat on top. If that's you that's struggling with these lies, then today I'm going to go through how you can play those, and it takes two very different techniques. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Danny Malcolm. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Today we're going to be talking about different rough lies around the green and how you can navigate that, how you can change your technique to be more successful out of these lies. Now, if you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing by clicking the button below. There's lots more free content to come for you guys to improve your game. All right, so let's get straight into it. So this is a very tricky shot here at the beautiful Western Australian Golf Club here in Perth, Western Australia. This is a 9th hole, very tricky par 3. We've gone long of the green here, a very difficult shot, downhill, in the rough, water on the other side. Not nice. But just in general, rough lies like this, when you find yourself in deep rough, how do you manage those lies? The different types of lies. So I just want to talk about three different lies really, and how to navigate them. So the first one being, let's assume you get a lie where it's actually sat a little bit on top, so it's actually, you know, coming in what you might consider a lucky break. So when it's sat on top like this, you're going to navigate it very differently to if it was deep in the rough. So a lot of people will actually start to take their most lofted club, their lob wedge, in my case it's a 58 degree, and they'll play it like a normal flop shot, and they'll try and play the shot and try and get it up and high in the air and landing soft. But what will happen is they'll just go and slice right under that. You may have seen that on tour lately, and particularly in the US Open, it's just gone a few plays slicing under it and the ball going nowhere. It's just gone deeper into the rough. So now you've got a different lie. Now how do you manage that one? But so what you want to do when it's sat on top like that, it actually creates, you've got to learn a bit of a skill of how to assess the lie firstly. So let's assess it, and then we can choose how we're going to play it. So let's say it's sat on the top like this. Now what you want to be doing here is taking a club that's going to present you as much club face as possible to be able to hit that golf ball. So we don't want to be opening it up. What's going to happen if you open it up? You're going to be presenting this sort of sharpness to the ball. It's very easy to slice underneath. So what you want to be doing is creating a situation where you've got the club coming at the ball with as much as possible of the face staring at the ball, so you can create connection, whether it's high in the face, middle of the face, or low on the face. You want that margin for error, because it's going to be very easy to get underneath it. So the more you can create at the top of your club, the better. So what I want you to try and do on this lie is you could take your most lofted club still, but don't open it. Play it square to even close, because what that's going to do is create a larger piece of face. So even with a bit of shaft lean here, you can see I'm creating a larger bit of face that's going to be able to connect with that ball. Now there's still going to be a huge element of skill in terms of controlling the low points of your arc. You could still get under that. You might get away with it, but you could still get under that. So it's almost like you want to create a bigger face and becoming much shallower, almost like a putting stroke, because there's going to be much more chance of you controlling that low point. And you can, before the shot, you could practice brushing the top of the grass to kind of create a feel of where your low point wants to be. So you could do that with your lob wedge. You could even do it with a pitching wedge or a 9-iron that's got, again, a straighter face, so you're less chance of getting underneath it. So let's assume I've gone with my lob wedge here. I've just taken a little bit of loft on it to present a bit more of the face, a very square face, a little bit of shaft lean. I'm just feeling that. I might even hold a bit down on the handle just to ensure that my low point's a bit higher and I'm not getting under it. And then from there, you're just going to try and recreate that feel and just nudge the ball along. You're not looking for a whole heap of loft here. You're just trying to nudge it along there. Now, it's a very difficult shot. Obviously, I've not given that enough, but I'll give that another go. But at least I've made decent contact. Let's see if I could try that with something like a pitching wedge with a little bit less loft, a little bit of a straighter club. I mean, that was a fine connection there. I just didn't swing it hard enough. So the same idea. And I'm just going to try and brush the top and just run it down the hill. So that was better. So that was better, much better result. So, you know, there maybe I could have taken that club in, but that's just your options there. You just want to present more face, more of that club face at the ball. You're just trying to nudge it along. You don't want to get under it. So key point, if you are going to take a more lofted club, ensure that you do either lean the shaft forward a bit or close the face a bit to ensure you've got more of the face staring at the ball. Don't open that thing up. So that's number one with that type of lie. And then we're going to talk about now the extreme opposite. So what do you do when the ball's deep in that rough? So let's say it's nestled right down there, right at the bottom. Okay, very different now how we're going to play this shot. So now we've got grass in between the ball and the club. So what we can't be doing here is we're coming in shallow into the ball, because there's just way too much grass, so it's going to just get snagged up. You're not going to get through there. Very difficult shot in that regard. So what you want to do here is take your most lofted club. So here I've got my 58 degree. I'm going to open that up, so I'm going to create more loft. I'm going to get my weight forward, so I've got more pressure on my lead knee. And this, I almost call this a bit of a cock and pop shot, if you like, where you're going to come in a bit steeper into the ball. Now we want to come in steeper to ensure that we get to the back of the ball first. We don't want to be coming in shallow, like I said, too much grass to get through. So weights want to be forward. You feel this pressure on your lead quadricep there, opening up that face, setting the club. So you're almost just cocking it up here and then popping it into the ball. You won't get much of a follow through because you're getting right into that ground, getting into that grass. You don't need much of a follow through here. You just want to pop it into the ball. You'll see by opening the face as well, you're also getting that leading sort of the hosel here. It's just going to cut through the grass beautifully as you get through there. Now very tough shot still, but you just want to try and wait forward, just try and pop that thing in there with a bit of speed into the ball, and hopefully that'll just pop out and run onto the green. There we go. Now this shot, this situation we're in is very difficult. It's the thickest bit of rough I could find on the golf course today. The rough's actually been cut just of late, but a very difficult shot. But in normal circumstances that would have come off a little bit better. So again, deep rough like this, you want to be getting in steeper into that ball, weight forward, opening it up, cock and pop. There, that's a little bit of a better effort, almost. Very fine line on this one. I picked a very difficult one to do a video for you guys, but there you go. So that's the two kind of extremes, sitting on top and then super deep into the rough. Now you might say, okay Danny, well what do I do when it's just on a normal lie, a normal roughish lie? So again, this is where, let's say it's just here and now it's just sat okay, it's kind of medium if you like. Well, now you can just, you've got options. You could play it, you could play a little bump and run with a 9-iron or 8-iron. You could try and play a bit more of a lob shot, knowing you've got a bit of a cushion underneath without the fear of slicing under it. So you've got options now with this lie. This is, you know, very different to those two extremes. So in this situation, with how difficult this shot is, I might even play that with a 9-iron. I might just go for a little bump and run and just try and roll it up the hill, and still getting weight forward. There's still a bit of grass to get through, so you don't want to be coming in too shallow, just bumping it, just a little bit of a bump and runner down the hill there, and you can just hopefully get a decent bounce. That's actually come off beautifully. I could not have played that any better. In fact, I don't know how that's even stopped short. So there we go, that's your medium lie. And so 3 different lies there, guys, 3 different ways to play that shot. But I just want you to understand the main one being when it's sat up like that in the rough, don't be trying to do that lob shot. Don't be trying to slice under it, because more often times you're just going to get way under it and this ball's going to stay exactly where it was. So you've got those high lies there, that's how you play that one. You've got the deep lies, that's when you want to open up the face and get in steep, almost like cock and pop technique. And when you're on a medium lie like that, you've got options. So guys, I hope that one helped. If you've got any questions on any of those lies, please let me know, or if there's any other lies that you'd like me to go through, please just drop them in the comments below. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's helped, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.